Hello. Look through how much more of this case I've got. Well, game I've got. I think I'm gonna stop doing all the pointless cross-examining in the trials. It's fun though. Anyway, I'll decide later. This is just taking too long for my liking. Which is a shame, but... what do I do now? I can't believe Myra and I were actually found guilty. This trial need not be drawn out any longer. The defence has failed to counter the charge filed by the prosecution. In accordance with the law, I invoke the Defence Culpability Act against the defence. Now then, this court finds the accused Maya Fey and the defence Phoenix Wright guilty. Mr. Wright! Albie? Saw the whole trial. What's going to happen to Miss Maya now? Worried about that too. But right now... I have one more thing to report, Prosecutor Shamadi. Yes? This dagger. It bears the fingerprints of Maya Fey on it. Right now I need to focus on the next trial. The murder of Acolyte Zealot, right? At least the jury is still out on that one, so to speak. Two murders are most likely connected. I can get to the bottom of Acolyte Zealot's murder. Might give me the ammunition I need to overturn Maya's guilty verdict. Let me help you investigate. I want to assist you any way I can. I appreciate it, Albie, but we're talking about a murder. Yeah, but it's going to be hard for a foreigner to investigate this on his own. You have a point there. I wish I knew what to do. Isn't that your benevolence? Princess Rofa? Oh, it is you again. The dead lawyer walking, guilty of abetting a murderer under the Defence Culpability Act. See, she hasn't lost any of her charm. Why the long face? I thought you'd be glad I was found guilty under the DC Act. I'm in no mood to take joy in your suffering. For I was unable to defeat you and had to leave the job to others. Failed in my sacred duty as the royal priestess. So that answers my question. I misunderstood the voice of the Midsummer yet again. This cannot be. All I did was defend my client. Not fair to see her looking so sad like this, though. Your benevolence. Your benevolence. Oh, barbed head. I thought you had already begun your journey to the Twilight Realm. I'm not dead yet. Still have an investigation to do. for tomorrow's trial.
What's that? Do you mean to say you've not given up yet?
That's right. I'm going to prove my innocent tomorrow.
Why? Why do you refuse to give up? I cannot fathom such obstinacy. Investigate all you want. I cannot.
You really don't mind? But aren't you worried that a lawyer, backed into a corner by the DC Act, might do something desperate like forge evidence?
What's this?
Left unsupervised, I'd be free to do whatever I wanted, you know. Okay, now to see if she takes the bait.
Yes, I see your point. Barbed head?
Yes?
I know what happened yesterday. You perpetrated some sort of fraud or other misdeed while I was not watching.
Huh?
That explains why I misunderstood the voice of the High Priest's soul. Yes, of course. That is the only explanation.
I was just trying to cheer her up. Now she thinks even less of me.
I must not allow you to sully our secret hall of justice with your misdeeds ever again. Therefore, today I will be monitoring your every move once more. I will not fail to spot your misdeeds this time. The moment I see anything out of the ordinary, I will send you straight to prison. And you, boy, do not throw your lot in with this foreign devil. But your benevolence...
It's okay, Albie. You don't need to worry about me. I'll be back before you know it. First, I should probably lighten my load a bit. Albie, would you mind holding to some evidence for me?
Of course not. I'm always glad to help. May the Holy Mother's blessing be upon you.
Now then, scene of the crime is the logical place to start. If I recall correctly, the body was found at the Plaza of Devotion. Looks like the police already finished their investigation. I think someone would be killed here. A place devoted to prayer. The outline and flowers? Did someone leave them here in the memory of the deceased? There's something different about the prayer flags today.
As the High Priest's disciple, Acolyte Zealot was utterly devoted to his training. First the High Priest and now his devoted disciple. Maya Fate will pay for this.
As I keep trying to tell you, Maya has nothing to do with any of this.
And you can prove this. How?
What do you think I'm doing here? Gathering dirt and dust for the trial?
You and your smart mouth. This is precisely why you and your loyally ilk are so reviled. Hey, Mr. Wright.
Emma.
It's that detective from your country again. It's the princess. You seem displeased that I am here. Oh, no. Don't be silly. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry about what happened to Maya.
It's not your fault, Emma. You were just doing your job. And if I had just done mine...
Mr. Wright.
It's no use crying over spilled milk. Would you mind telling me what you know about the murder? It's do or die in court tomorrow, and I mean that literally.
Gladly. I'll help in any way I can. Remember, I have my eyes on the both of you, so see to it you commit no misdeeds. Of course not. You're talking to a professional here.
Let's see, how about starting with an overview of what happened?
Sure. The victim is praised a lot. He was the High Priest's disciple. His body was discovered around noon today, right after the Wright wrapped up.
So during the High Priest murder trial?
That's right. Apparently he'd been here praying since the day before the Wright even started. Talk about serious devotion.
Yeah, I barely lasted a few minutes.
This is a picture of Mr. Zalot's body.
That dagger in his upper back looks like it would have been practically painful. And a tattoo on the back of his neck. It's peach-shaped.
Everyone started leaving when the prayer was finally done. But the victim remained bent over in prayer, and when they went over to check on him,
They discovered he was dead, right?
yes, the estimated time of death is May 9th, sometime between the start of the rite and the discovery of the High Priest's body. In other words, we believe the crime took place during the purification rite. And the murder weapon was the same ceremonial dagger that killed the High Priest. The prosecution believes Maya came down the stairs after killing the High Priest, and then stabbed Mr. Zealot with the same dagger.
Circumstantial evidence does point to Maya, but what about the cause of death?
He apparently died instantly from the dagger that was left thrust into his upper back. Here's the autopsy report. Estimated time of death, you say? How can you know such a thing? I want to know. Well, barbed head, out with it. Oh, so the princess of the spirit medium kingdom is interested in forensic science. I have no interest in science, forensic or otherwise. Nevertheless, I will someday be queen. As such, it would be wise to know what silly things the common folk believe in. There's nothing silly about it. I'll have you know, even Prosecutor Shamadi holds forensics in high regard. Does he? Perhaps I should not underestimate the power of science. Still, I suppose it is nothing much compared to the divination seance. She really doesn't have an adorable bone in her body.
Emma, I think she's actually interested. Would you mind explaining it to her?
I guess I have to now. Okay, there are many ways to estimate the time of death, but the most well-known method uses the change in body temperature. Interesting. Body temperature drops at a steady rate from the moment a person dies. That means we can tell how long someone's been dead by measuring their temperature. I see. That was quite enlightening. Barbed head, present your forehead now.
What? Why?
You feel just a little over 95 degrees. It seems you are not dead yet.
Of course I'm not.
It was but a jest. After all, you are still the dead lawyer walking.
I fail to see the humour in any of this. Were there any witnesses? There's so many people here at the plaza, you'd think somebody would have seen something.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But we haven't found a single witness.
Is that even possible?
Because everyone was bent over, utterly devoted to prayer, naturally.
Oh, right. The back-shattering pose that nearly killed me. Still, you'd think someone would have noticed something.
I thought so too, but in the monk's scarf he had on, no one could see the dagger in his upper back. Plus, everyone was so absorbed in prayer they didn't see or hear anything.
Can't believe this.
What you choose to believe is your choice, but the facts remain. There were no witnesses. However, there is one piece of irrefutable evidence. The dagger. Sadly, yes.
Could you tell me about the murder weapon?
The killer used the Warbar dagger, the legendary weapon of Lady Kira. It was discovered impaled in the victim's upper back. The accused's fingerprints were found on the dagger, were they not? Yes, they were. With such irrefutable evidence, there is no questioning the accused's guilt.
Not so fast. What about a motive? I had no reason to kill Acolyte Zealot.
What do the police think about this matter?
I had no reason to kill Acolyte Zealot.
So you say, but let us hear now what the police think about the matter. The police believe Maya is the Lady Kira figure who has been battling the rebels. And since Mr. Zealot was the disciple of the High Priest who turned out to be a rebel, he too was likely a rebel, and therefore met the same ultimately untimely demise as his teacher. Yes, that is how the police currently view this crime.
There's no way Maya is that Lady Kira vigilante.
I agree on a personal level, but the police are just going with what today's trial concluded.
Really blew it in court today. This prayer flag looks much newer than the rest. Your benevolence? What does it say here?
The dearest wishes of our subjects are written upon these prayer flags. Reading the prayers of others is considered rude. But if you must know, it says, at the usual spot, bring grub, the key too. That is one of the more direct and practical prayers I have ever seen.
I wonder if it's even a prayer. So these flowers were left here in memory of Acolyte Zealot. What are they called?
They are known as Namanda flowers. They are known as Namanda, and they are given to express sorrow when a life is lost.
Seems offering flowers in memory of the dead is a universal practice. Acolyte Zealot died bent over in prayer. There's no trace of blood on the ground though. The fact that there's so little bleeding could mean it was a single stab to a vital point. Not that that would have made him very difficult considering the position he was in. Acolyte Zealot was killed in a prayer pose. With his head bent over like that, the last thing he saw must have been this rug.
It is a prayer rug woven by devout monks. May the Holy Mother's blessing be upon this departed soul.
Strange that there are no bloodstains though.
Perhaps it was so cold his blood froze, or perhaps it was absorbed by his vestment.
It was pretty cold. Maybe the blood really did just freeze inside his body. Okay. That message on the prayer flag seems a little weird, but I think I've seen everything there is to see around here.
You have not found or heard anything of particular worth. Are you ready to give up?
No, I'm not calling it quits yet.
Does it look like you have any hope of winning, Mr. Wright?
Emma. Can't really say at this point. All I know is I have to keep investigating.
What are you two sneaks up to? I would advise you to get back to work if you are done here, Detective. Otherwise, I will report you to Prosecutor Shamadi for dereliction of duty. I'm going. Well, see you later, Mr. Wright, and good luck.
I should really pay a visit to everyone and every place connected with this case. Hello, I'm sorry to bother you again, but...
Oh, it's you. Barbed head. You are not contemplating casting suspicion upon Lady Believe, are you? She lost her beloved husband and now acolyte Zealot, who was like a son to her.
Of course I'm not. But since she was close to both victims, I wanted to hear what she has to say.
Very well.
And there's the fact that Lady Kira didn't attack Miss In Me. Probably means she isn't a rebel.
Is this about poor Pere? Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can talk about that right now.
But what about Maya? She's innocent.
Maya. I heard she was found guilty. First my dear husband and now Pere.
Miss In Me, you don't really believe that Maya's the killer, do you?
I don't know. But that was the verdict. So what else can I believe? What am I to do?
The verdict was already reached in your husband's case, but the truth of the matter is yet to be found.
How can you be so sure?
Because I believe that Maya is innocent. That is all I have right now. My faith in her. So please, help me understand what happened.
So you're defending her based solely on faith? Even though you'll be punished for abetting the accused?
That's right.
Alright then. Your faith has moved me. I will tell you what I can. Are you sure about this, Lady Believe? My lovely wife is also a devout follower of Curanism. As such, she is not one to make light of another's faith. And if I find that you have lied about your faith in Maya Fey's innocence, I shall curse your entire family and all your disciples for the next 8 generations.
Hey, leave the thinner and follow alone, buddy. How did Acolyte Zealot ended up living here as your husband's disciple?
About 2 years ago, while my husband was at a spiritual retreat in the mountains, he came across prey collapsed on the ground. That's when he brought him here. You always want to help those in need, weren't you, dear?
And he'd been living here ever since? 2 years ago, that's around the same time Maya arrived in Terrain.
Yes. He was born in a poor village and had nowhere to call home. My husband felt pity for the boy, so he took him in as his disciple. But not only as his disciple, he was like a member of our family too.
I see. This is where Acolyte Zealot lived. It might be something I could learn about him lying around here. A photo of the High Priest, his wife, Acolyte Zealot and Maya. Since Maya's in it, must have been taken the day before the rite. I should ask Miss In Me about it.
To think that this would be their final family photo. That Nogan Mayafei has some nerve. I mean, here she is posing with the two men whom she would soon kill.
I beg to differ. I see this proto as proof she didn't kill them.
That smile of hers does not fool me. I sense a deep and abiding malice behind it.
I'll prove Maya's smile is the real deal. Can I ask you about this photo?
It was taken during the Feast of Blessings, the day before the rite was held.
The Feast of Blessings. Would you mind telling me a little more about that?
This photo was taken during the Feast of Blessings.
The Feast of Blessings.
Yes, it is forbidden to eat during the days of the rite, so the day before it's performed, we'd enjoy dishes full of gingly, an herb known to strengthen the body and mind. You love the gingly-based dishes I make, don't you, dear?
Kingly. I've heard you can go 3 days without sleep after eating some. Sleeping without eating some.
Yes, but many foreigners don't care for it because of its strong smell. Our customs say that these dishes can only be eaten the day before the purification rite, and only between noon and 3 p.m.
That's pretty specific. Is it because the smell is too strong?
A very good guess indeed. It is to ensure the smell is gone by the time Lady Kira is welcome the next day.
Wow, is it really that strong? Come to think of it, the evening before the murder, an overwhelming odour was all over town. It was like a cross between garlic and mint.
After the Feast of Blessings, Ray went over to the plaza to begin his supplication. I never thought that would be the last time I would see him.
What was Maya doing around the time? Doing at the time?
Shortly after Pare left, she went to the temple to prepare for the rite. Don't know what she did after that.
So, Acolyte Zealot went out to pray the afternoon before the rite. According to the newspaper, on the day before the rite, the plaza was so cold the whole place had iced over.
Ray always prayed a lot, far more than anyone I've ever known. He was a devout young man whose faith was twice as strong as others.
I don't know why, but that's kinda intimidating to me. I thought I'd have made some progress by now. I haven't come across any particularly insightful information, even here.
You seem disappointed.
Missing me, is there anything else you could tell me?
Forgive me, and if I keep thinking about those two any longer. Bobhead?
Yes, I understand. Thank you for your help. I'm sorry to have troubled you.
We have paid a visit to all of the people and places connected with this case. I think it's about time you prepared yourself for the inevitable, don't you?
Maya sure looks tired. I'm so sorry, Maya. I had to defend you during that trial earlier today.
I'm sorry too, Nick. I never meant to get caught up in this whole mess. Even worse, I got you caught up in it too, and you were convicted under that stupid law. Nick, you should really withdraw from this case. Maybe they'll even commute your sentence if you do.
I could never abandon you like that. You might not believe me, but I'm going to pull off a win somehow.
It's not like I don't believe in you, it's just...
Don't worry. Maybe this extra day in court is a blessing from the Holy Mother. Let's use it to our advantage. We'll turn this trial inside out and upside down. You'll see.
Okay.
You're awfully quiet, Your Benevolence.
It is only a matter of time until your executions are carried out. I simply thought I would allow you two a good talk before you depart from this world.
Sorry, but we're not giving up yet, and we won't till the bitter end.
There is no need to put on a brave face. Your fates were sealed with today's verdict. Worry not of Maya Fey. The Twilight Realm will cleanse the taint from that neophyte practitioner's soul. Then perhaps the Holy Mother may finally forgive her.
Wait. Was that her attempt at comforting me?
Barbed, further resistance shall come to naught. Stop your desperate struggle. Accept the judgment that has been passed upon you.
She obviously doesn't know me very well.
Then perhaps your sentence will be commuted and... Hold it right there, Your Benevolence. Why do you always have to be like that?
Maya, what are you?
What is the matter? I was simply showing some mercy upon your souls. Nick here is risking his life to defend me. And that is why I told you it will come to naught. No, it won't. Nick is just doing what lawyers are supposed to. He's defending his client no matter what. Enough. This is no place for lawyers. There is no place for lawyers in the Hall of Justice. For we have the divination seance. But your insights were wrong.
Oh boy, that's gotta hurt.
Don't you get it? Errors are bound to happen if your insights are accepted without question. So I ask you, Royal Priestess, what is your true duty? Do the victim's souls or the Holy Mother herself wish you to judge people in error? You dare bring Her Holiness's name into this? You know nothing, you phony baloney!
Please, you two, enough already.
Sorry, Nick, I got a little carried away. That's not really like me, huh?
No, I should be thanking you, Maya. It's good to have you in my corner.
How dare you mock me so? You will not get away with this. I was a fool to show you compassion, and to think I could convince you to accept your fate. So struggle all you want in the Hall of Justice tomorrow. You will receive your just deserts as the scorn of our kingdom is heaped upon you.
I can see straight through that contorted smile on your face, you know. She may say these terrible things. It's just the way she was raised, I guess. Could you try to remember what happened one more time?
I've been trying as hard as I can, but I can't remember anything from the middle of the rite onward.
Alright, you suddenly felt sleepy and everything after that's a blank.
Even so, I didn't kill anyone, and I'm not the one going around dressed like Lady Kira. Although it's kinda cool to think there's a mysterious female vigilante out there.
Right. Were you close to Acolyte Zealot?
We met several times during the meetings about the rite, but I didn't know him very well. He seemed pretty quiet.
Didn't you eat together the day before the rite?
Yeah, we ate this one super stinky dish, but it was actually really good. I wasn't sure I'd like it, but it was love at first bite. Like, you know, the salty noodles at Eldoon's Noodles. It's like if you add garlics and herbs to that, and then let it simmer for a really long time.
Sounds more like a hot pot than ramen to me at this point.
Now I miss ramen too.
So what was Acolyte Zealot like while you were eating?
He seemed to be enjoying the food, but as soon as we were done, he left to go pray.
And what did you do?
Oh, I returned to the temple to prepare for the rite.
It coincides with Miss Min's description of events. Any idea who might be pretending to be Lady Kira?
When the rite started, it was just me and Abbott and me.
But the seance vision showed a third figure who looked like Lady Kira.
I know. Lady Kira. I wish I could have seen her in the flesh.
Yeah. Let's stay focused on the case, shall we? It's supposed to have been impossible for a third party to enter the inner sanctum.
But what if she came from the sky? You know, like that bushy-beard paratrooper. That mountain would have been no match for Lady Kira's wings.
That's from the Plume Punisher TV show, right?
How'd you know?
Because the real Lady Kira doesn't have wings.
Oh, I've got it this time. There must be a secret room with a secret door at the inner sanctum. Did you know there are 88 secret Plume Punisher bases here in Karain?
Can we please stop talking about the Plume Punisher show for a sec, Maya?
I guess so. Keeping it real is much harder than it looks.
Well, I should get going now.
Sorry I wasn't any help.
Don't worry, I've got this. We'll beat the Chargers tomorrow and be on the first plane back home before you know it. And we'll go grab dinner at Eldoon's, or your favourite burger joint. You pick.
Sounds good. I think I'll get the extra large hamburger steak topping on my salty bowl. Best of both worlds.
Hey, you can have whatever you like. First I have to beat the Chargers.
I almost forgot.
What is it?
I have a favour to ask.
Okay, but why are we whispering?
I forgot I left something at the High Priest's house. It's super important. Would you mind getting in and holding onto it for me?
Sure, so what's this super important thing?
In my bag, you'll find a folding book. It's only given to the priestesses who perform the rite. It's called the Tome of Secrets.
That does sound important. How could you just leave something like that lying around? That explains all the whispering. If Rafer found out, all heck would break loose.
Look, it's got Lady Kira's real name written in it, so... Oops! Don't tell anyone I told you that. In fact, just forget I said anything at all. It's supposed to be secret.
Tome of Secrets contains... secrets. Imagine that.
What are you two whispering about?
Oh, nothing. It's just she forgot something, so I told her I'd go get it.
You're up to something, I just know it. Thanks, Nick. I'm counting on you.
Hello? Anybody home? No answer. Missing me is probably out right now. Well, I'll just get what I came for.
I'm watching you like a warbob, Barbed Head. You'd better not steal anything.
I would never do something like that. I'm just here to get what Maya asked for.
Then get on with it.
What if you'd stop interrupting me? Here's Maya's bag.
What is that strange patch on her bag?
It's the Still Samurai. He's the hero of an action hero show back in my country. It's actually Maya's favourite show. She got all sorts of merchandise related to it.
I see. He looks strikingly similar to the Gloom Punisher.
They are similar, but Still Samurai definitely came first.
I see. How interesting.
Rafa seems genuinely intrigued. There must be a common thread between Gloom Punisher and Still Samurai fans. Come to think of it, didn't I mention something about trading with a Gloom Punisher fan? But I digress. I better find what she asked me to look for and get going. Let's see here. This must be that Tome of Secrets that Miles was talking about.
Well, Barbed Head, are you finished now?
Hold on a second. And the string around it's coming undone. Whoops. Oh.
You fool! Do not lay eyes upon it. Put it away, quickly, before we go blind!
Rafa, relax. My hand just slipped.
This is the Tome of Secrets. Are you trying to get us cursed? Lady Kira is liable to swoop down and gouge your eyes out.
Oh, right. This book is related to Lady Kira, isn't it? Your Benevolence, would you mind if I asked you some questions?
This is not something I would normally speak about to an outsider such as you.
Well, can't you make an exception?
If you insist. Nyana? What of this folding book? Yes, I see. This very important tome is bestowed upon the priestess in the purification rite.
Very important. What's written inside?
Yes, I see. Really? Is it all right to reveal that?
Your Benevolence?
Patience, patience. The book contains Lady Kira's true name.
Her true name? Is her name really that important of a secret?
To a Trinist priestess, a person's name is one of the most important things to know.
What's so important about a name?
Without a name, a priestess's voice will fail to reach a person's mitma. It is much like trying to send a letter without the recipient's address. Spirit can only be identified once you know the deceased's face and name.
Oh, I get it. It's like when you see someone in a crowd you recognise, but you don't know their name. It makes it impossible to get their attention.
Indeed. You must know a spirit's face and true name before you can commune with it. It is the same for Curinism's most secret art, one that my mother alone may use.
The Queen has a secret art?
It is something a foreigner such as you could never hope to guess. In Curinism, spirit channeling is a secret art that can only be performed by the Queen. No one else is supposed to be able to do it.
I should pretend this is all new to me. Besides, I get the feeling she secretly really wants to tell me all about it. Could you tell me about this secret art of the Queen you spoke of?
Come again?
Oh, sorry. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this. It is a secret after all, right?
It is the secret art of the spirit channeling, but I suppose those words are meaningless to you.
I'm just surprised how willing you are to tell me about it.
A third-rate lawyer could not channel spirits simply by learning of the technique.
That rate is a bit harsh. I'd even settle for second.
What is it? You have the look of a tentacled hag frog upon your face.
Oof. What the heck is a tentacled hag frog? Spirit channeling. And that's where a medium lets a spirit possess her body to return to our world, right?
Well now, I see you have done your homework.
Oh, I guess I studied a bit.
With the power of spirit channeling, one can bring back even the most ancient of spirits. It is quite a magnificent power, is it not?
Never seen her eyes light up like this before. I imagine they're pretty shocked when they come back from ancient times.
Indeed. A spirit's memory is cut off at the moment of death.
So even a spirit that is brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time between the moment of its death and the moment it is channeled.
Yes, and yet it clearly recalls all of the memories it had in life. Thus, even heroes and scholars of antiquity can be channeled and directly learned from. Our queens have also used this power to help the rulers of neighbouring lands seek counsel. That is why we have never been invaded, and how we have maintained our unique culture.
So spirit channeling is a really effective tool for international politics.
It is indeed. And that is why only those with the power to channel spirits may rule our kingdom. But of late, there has been an endless influx of illegal immigrants from neighbouring lands. The fools come seeking the same great power as my mother.
Illegal immigrants?
Yes, it is becoming quite a problem. Some have lost their way in life and look to Curinism for their salvation. Among them are also those of dubious nature who have been driven from their own lands.
Dubious nature, driven from their own lands. Guess Ben Payne definitely fit that bill. But they sure weren't treating him like an illegal alien. Can you channel spirits, your benevolence?
I am but the royal priestess. There is still much that I must learn. As of now, the divination seance takes me to the very limit of my ability.
So her spiritual power doesn't measure up to Maya's.
You were just mocking me in your mind, weren't you?
Don't be ridiculous.
It is written all over your face, you impudent nincompoop. The divination seance was once one of the important roles fulfilled by the Queen. That is what my mother taught me when I was little.
So the Queen can perform the dance of devotion. That'd be a sight to see.
Someday I will be a powerful priestess and queen just like my mother. The divination seance is a vital part of my training to prepare me for that day.
Forgive my ignorance, your benevolence.
You shall see. It will not be long before I, too, master the secret art of spirit channeling. I will be a magnificent queen who unites her people for the greater good of Karain.
Now I see. Spirit channeling is something she really aspires to.
I'm going to ace that test and become the next master. After all, I can't let my clan and the other villagers down.
Looks like she actually has something in common with Maya.
Are you quite through now? There are more important things to do than to stand here and talk about spirit channeling.
That's true. It doesn't have anything to do with this case as far as I can tell. What does it? If the Queen is a spirit medium, are you about to suggest that my
mother was channeling Lady Kira?
I guess she saw that one coming.
Lawyers are indeed a witless breed. On the day of the rite, my mother was engaged in other duties at the palace.
Of course.
My mother is a very busy woman, and the idea itself is preposterous. Do you truly believe the Queen of Karain would personally battle the insurgents? This is precisely what makes you third-rate.
Another dead end. This is bad. Anyway, I need to continue looking for leads, so... Over there, arrest him! Don't let him escape!
What is all that racket? What? That escaped prisoner has surfaced here in town?
Escaped prisoner? You mean that guy with the bushy beard?
There is no reason to panic. The police are on his trail.
He's no longer a suspect. But he might know something considering he was at the scene of the crime. Let's go take a look.
Wait.
Oh, my aching back. I forgot how badly I'd injured it. Ow, ow. I need to do some stretching and exercising more when I get home.
Mr. Wright.
Hey, Albie. That's horrible. Have you seen it? Ow, ow, ow.
Are you alright, sir?
1 second. Have you seen that escaped prisoner around here?
Oh, so that's why all those police came rushing over here. I heard them saying something about an escaped prisoner disappearing in this area.
He disappeared in this area? Couldn't have taken to the air again, could he?
Barbed head. I told you to wait.
It's too dangerous for you around here, your benevolence. Mr. Arable could be lurking nearby.
What sort of princess would I be if all it took was an escaped prisoner to frighten me?
She's fearless, I'll give her that. Can't be responsible if something happens to you. As long as I'm here, though, I might as well search the area myself. If I were an escaped prisoner, where would I hide? That manhole cover, it's open.
Whoa! What is it, Shadow?
Did he sniff out something, someone or something in the manhole? I wonder. Could Shadow trick Mr. Arable if he had something with the rebel scent on it?
I don't know.
I feel like I've got something with Mr. Arable's scent on it. Something you might have touched. Here, Shadow, how about this? I hope it works. I think he's picked up a scent. You mind if I borrow Shadow for a bit?
By all means. I had no idea you could do this. Yeah, go get him, boy!
Your benevolence, I'm heading down the manhole now. Could be dangerous, so please wait here.
Wait,
Don't worry, I won't commit any of those misdeeds you're so worried about.
that is not what I fear. There may be vicious insurgent lurking down there.
Oh, are you worried about me?
No, I was simply wondering why you would go to such lengths in your investigation. After all, if you would simply withdraw from this case, they might commute your sentence.
I'm doing this to prove Maya innocent.
How can you be so sure of the accused innocence? She has already been found guilty.
Don't worry, maybe this extra day in court is a blessing from the Holy Mother. Let's use it to our advantage. We'll turn this trial inside out and upside down. You'll see.
Okay.
I believe in her. If she says she's innocent, then that means she's innocent. Blech. Lawyers must trust in their clients to the bitter end. It's just what we do.
You lame brain. Do what you will.
Well, I'm going in. Let's go, Shadow.
Be careful.
Wait, come back here. It's pitch blank down here. I can't see a thing.
Look.
Ow, 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 ow. What happened? I went down into the manhole and then... Ah, you finally came to. I don't remember that face anywhere. And that dragon symbol on his armband, that's the mark of the rebels. There can be no mistake, it's him. That's horrible.
Yikes!
Sorry I got a little rough with you back there. I thought you were the cops. Why are you making that face? Hey, want an apple? Thought he was going to kill me. I'll pass on the apple, but thanks. Don't mind a good apple, but not right now. What is this place? This is the office of my brother-in-arms, Dirk. But right now we're just using it as a rebel safe house. Oh, wait, back up a sec. What kind of office is this exactly? A law office. What else? Really? Dirk used to be a lawyer? Yep, just like you. Crane's public enemy number one as an ex-lawyer. Didn't see that coming. But I don't suppose I'll be coming around here anymore. You won't? Are you planning to flee or something? Just, I want to get out of the rebel business. Tired of being hounded by the cops and all that. So I came by today to pick up the last of my stuff. Really? I'm gonna sell Dirk's info to the Minister of Justice, then slip out of Crane. Wait a second. You're a key person of interest in this case. You can't go running off like that. Relax, will you? I'll tell you whatever you need to know. Oh, and sorry about punching your lights out back there, my bad. My bad. Yeah. So, Mr. Lawyer, what do you want to know? Tell me about the murders of the High Priest. Trust in me, and his acolyte prays a lot. Sure, I'll tell you whatever I can. Don't know if it'll be much help, though. I mean, I'm not a rebel anymore, so... I wonder how true that really is. Tell me everything you know about the High Priest's murder. Well, as you know, I don't remember much about that. I banged my head on a rock as soon as I parachuted into the inner sanctum. So when I told you I had nothing to do with his murder, I meant it. Okay then, where were you when you came to after banging your head? By the time I came to, it was already dawn. I must have been out cold the whole time. So you didn't see the crime happen at all? You got that right. Then why did you say you did when you were testified? Oh, about that. Since I didn't remember a thing, I was afraid I'd seem suspicious, so I came up with that whole story. Doesn't he even realise how much trouble this big fat lie has caused me? Sorry for the trouble. It was definitely my bad. Doesn't seem very sorry to me. So the bottom line is you were at the scene of the crime, but weren't involved in it. Got it. So Dirk used to be a lawyer. Yep, he was a force to be reckoned with back when he was still practicing. He was a juggernaut of the law, and as mighty as a dragon. He could strike terror into a prosecutor's heart just by glaring at him. People called it his dragon's glare. He even got criminals to confess and pass out with a well-placed glare. You've got to be kidding me. But most important of all, he would never surrender. He'd fight for the accused no matter how the odds were stacked against him. Is that what you mean by the will of the dragon? Yep, that would be it. Actually, your work in court yesterday was mighty impressive too. You didn't give up, no matter how hard of a beating you took. Not unlike Dirk, I might add. Thanks. Even if a big part of that beating I took was because of you. Is this a law book? Dragon mark's been branded into the cover. Oh, that's Dirk's law book. Really? The leader of the rebels? That Dirk? That's right, and that mark of the dragon is the emblem of the rebellion. Pages in this one section are really dirty. Must be the section on the Defense Culpability Act. He must have done a ton of research on the Defense Culpability Act. Practically wore out the entire section. It's a ladder leading underground. It must have brought me in through there. There's no reason for me to leave yet. Should see what else Mr. Arable has to say. There's a knife driven deep into the photo of the Queen. I guess the rebels really hate her. I'd better remember to stay on their good side. What's this thing with the dragons on it? Some kind of a sign? Yep, that was his business sign back when this was Dirk's office. He used to be a lawyer, right? That he was. But it was a really long time ago. This place has seen better days, that's for sure. Well, I hope he can put his sign back up someday. I wouldn't hold my breath. Incense and white flowers. Flowers are still fresh. They must have been put here maybe today or yesterday. Did you put these here, Mr. Arable? Something wrong with flowers. Oh no! Just a traditional thing here in Karain. Pay it no mind. You guys get electricity? Yeah, but the power goes out occasionally. It's pretty inconvenient. You're telling me, sometimes it goes out for an entire day. What about the stuff in the refrigerator? Why don't you see for yourself? Kid, I asked. I'm afraid of what I might find. This looks like a photo of Dirk and his compatriots. Here's one that looks really old. Wow, this was taken about 20 years ago. Oh, those are Dirk's sons. Really? So this is the rebel Dirk in the centre. Doesn't look so evil. Both of his sons look kind of familiar. The one on the left is Yudi. Oh, but you know him as Prosecutor Shamadi. Prosecutor Shamadi is Dirk's son? And that he is. Yudi was once a rebel too. He used to really respect his old man, both as a father and as a lawyer. Then why did he become a prosecutor? Being a lawyer in this kingdom is the same as signing your own death warrant. On account of the Defense Culpability Act, right? Yeah, that's why Yuti decided to be a prosecutor instead. He wanted to spark a revolution from the inside, so he dove right into the enemy's den. I'd have never guessed it, looking at him now. You can say that again. Dirk is battling to change Karain's legal system. The will of the dragon spurs him on. We all thought Yuti was taking up the mantle to carry on that will too. We were sure he'd help overthrow Karain one day, but as you see, he now uses the law to do our bidding. Dirk's been beside himself. So he no longer carries the will of the dragon in him, huh? I wonder what happened between father and son for it to come to this. What about the other child in the photo? Oh, that's Dirk's adopted son, but he's gone back overseas. His name's Apollo. Apollo? Wait a second. That bracelet, it really is Apollo! He was a rascal, that one, and his voice could shake the entire room. I imagine he's out there raising high hell somewhere. Yes, I'm sure he's doing just fine. Considering how far he's come, Mr. Arabelle's description really doesn't do Apollo justice. Apollo, I've been watching you grow these past 2 years. That's why I know you're ready. Why I know I can leave Trucy in the office to you. I believe in you, Apollo. Thank you. Oh, I'll be fine. Everything will be fine. He's a responsible young man now. He never lost that loud voice, though. Is that coat yours, Mr. Arable? Nah, it belongs to the rebel leader Dirk. It's pretty impressive. I like the colour too. I want to try it on. Really? You sure it's okay? Of course. I bet it would look great on you. Oh, don't mind if I do. Ugh, it smells all mouldy. I can't believe you fell for it. That thing's been hanging there forever. Note to self, don't trust this guy ever again. There are bowls and platters of food here. And it's still warm, as if this was all recently prepared. You must have a pretty big appetite, Mr. Arable. Guys as big and strong as me. Got even bigger appetites, you know. You just fled from the police. I don't know how you could eat this much after all that excitement. Sorry if I offended you. But first, let's start with an appetizer. Where's he getting all those apples from? Want to join me, Mr. Lawyer Man? Got plenty of sewer lizards too. Thanks, but I already ate. Well, I gotta start packing. Who knows when they might catch up with me if I don't scram soon. Please wait, I still need to ask you something. Go ahead, shoot. What are you rebels trying to do? Why were you at the inner sanctum in the first place? Why were you at the inner sanctum on the day of the murder? More precisely, what were you trying to do there? I was trying to escape from prison, that's all. But that high priest was a fool for getting taken in by Dirk. He should have tried hightailing it out of Karain like I'm doing. Cyclops. Mr. Arabella's hiding something, but I won't know exactly what until I can undo the locks. What exactly are you trying to hide, Mr. Arable? What? I'm not hiding anything. No way, no how. I'll just have to use my Magatama on him then.
Take that!
Going to ask you again. Why were you at the inner sanctum on the day of the murder? And more precisely, what were you trying to do there? You can keep asking, but the answer's still the same. I was trying to escape from prison, that's all. And that high priest was a fool. He fell for Dirk's line and sold his own country out. Can you say such things about him? He helped you escape, didn't he? Don't you even care about what happened to him? Nope, I was getting out of the rebellion anyway. He should have opened his eyes. He never stood a chance against the Garain regime. Hang on, do you really believe what you're saying? Didn't the High Priest's death really hurt you on the inside? Like I just said, I couldn't care less about the whole thing. I beg to differ. This wouldn't be here in this room if you didn't feel a thing.
Take that!
I heard these flowers are offered in memory of the dead here in Karain. The High Priest's death hit you hard, so you've been grieving here alone, haven't you? Well? Yeah. Those flowers don't mean anything. It's just a Curine's way of saying goodbye. Why hide the fact that you're mourning his death? You're reading into this too much. I told you, I'm done with the rebellion. I haven't even heard from Dirk or the rest of them for a few days. And tomorrow I'm planning to kiss this kingdom goodbye. No, I know you've been in contact with the other rebels lately. And how exactly do you plan on proving that? This piece of evidence ties you to the other rebels.
Take that!
I found this prayer flag at the Plaza of Devotion. You wrote a message on it and left it behind for your fellow rebels, didn't you? They brought this food for you at your request. So you were lying about leaving the rebels. You're still involved with Dirk and the rest of them, aren't you? Yeah. Are you ready to tell me the truth now? Oh, you're good, Mr. Lawyer Man, I admit it. I requested the grub. But I was just taking advantage of them, that's all. What do you mean? With my face blasted all over the place, I couldn't stay out in the open anymore. So I just took advantage of my former comrades for some grub and a place to hide. I was going to kiss this kingdom goodbye tomorrow. I'm not buying it. You're obviously lying. I can tell just by looking at you. The white hot flames of revolution definitely still burn inside of you. What? That's ridiculous. Those flames burned out a long time ago. This proves that the flames of revolution still burn inside of you.
Take that!
Dirk's lawbook. I'm no lawyer, so what's that got to do with me? Look at the mark branded onto the cover. This mark that stands for an unwavering commitment to the revolution. It's Dirk's way of representing the will of the dragon. Yeah? So what of it? You have that same mark on the scarf tied around your left arm. But you wouldn't be wearing that if you were no longer a rebel. I forgot to take it off, that's all. No, as a wanted man, that should have been the first thing you took off. The fact that you haven't hidden that mark yet proves you're still a rebel. Ah! Think what you want, but you don't know nothing about me. No, you're wrong. You wear your heart and your beliefs right on your sleeve, just like me. And this is what I believe in.
Take that!
When a person's back is against a wall, they always fall back on what they believe in. Just as I always have my badge, you always have the will of the dragon with you. And would you risk your life for your belief? For your beliefs? No, I wouldn't. No. No, because I wouldn't be much use to my clients dead. Now admit it. You've never once thought about leaving the Defiant Dragons, have you? That look in your eyes, it's just like Dirk's. Looks like you've got the will of the dragon inside of you too. I planned to take you out if you turned out to be on the side of the royals. But I think I can trust you. I can't believe I was that close to getting shanked here. It's like you said. I've no intention of leaving Dirk Troop. In other words, you were testing me. You're a foreigner, and a lawyer who's been charged with abetting a criminal to boot. And I've seen a fair share of lawyers get pardoned after weeping at the feet of the Queen. Well, I'm going to keep fighting till the end. Yeah, I can see that now. Sorry I ever doubted you. So, what are you doing here anyway? Oh, I came to get the secret hideout key from a helper. Secret hideout? Yep. I was supposed to get my next order from Dirk there. But the town's swarming with cops thanks to that murder. Nothing I can do about it. About that. What about the order Dirk was supposed to give you? I'm gonna have to abort that mission. Now I'm just lying low, waiting for a chance to make contact with Dirk again. Hey, why the long face? Thought you'd be able to tell me something about the High Priest's murder. Sorry to disappoint you. Oh, I know. Let me make it up to you with this. What is it? This orb is actually a key. It opens the door to one of our secret hideouts. Can't say any more than that. Anyway, I hope it helps. This orb is a key? Yep. Plus the hideout's in a totally unexpected location. And being that it's a super secret, we couldn't have just any ordinary key. Let's see. Maybe this will help me unravel the truth behind this case. Thanks. Don't mention it. Besides, you're a fellow brother in arms, fighting the powers that be. If it helps you, feel free to pick my brain a bit more. Everyone's been talking about the return of Lady Kira lately. Well, my friend Maya suspected of being the rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira. You wouldn't happen to know who she really is, though, would you? Beats me, but whoever she is, she bushwhacked me and hauled me off to jail. Even worse, on top of her attacking us and delivering us to the cops, she's been watching us like a hawk and framing us for different crimes. Watching you like a hawk? Framing you for crimes? Why would anyone go to all that trouble? Our kingdom likes to pretend that its people are free to think what they want. Because of that, the authorities can't arrest you for just sympathising with the rebellion. So they resort to framing people for things they didn't do. And that Lady Kira figure is... Yep, she's just some little spittle working for the Grand Regime. Wow. Even without the DC Act, Dirk and his insurgent scum buddies' days are numbered. What's that supposed to mean? Let's just say I got a little trick up my sleeve, so I'd watch it if I were you. 'Cause you got a defiant attitude, like one of them dragon dupes. So I was talking about Lady Kira then. Advanced combat skills, detailed surveillance and clever setups. She's no amateur if you ask me. They're saying the monarch is using Lady Kira to secretly take out the rebels. Exactly. The Green Regime is using her to control the people, even down to what we think. Why don't the people protest if the monarchy is doing things like that? Fortunately, we don't have any conclusive evidence. And without that, we can't prove anything. I know the feeling. If I bring this up in court, they'd probably dismiss it out of hand. I'll have to unmask Lady Kira if I want to get anywhere. Our goal? To get rid of that evil, no-good Defense Culpability Act. I can tell just by looking at Dirk's law book. DC Act has turned this kingdom into a corrupt cesspool, where false charges are overlooked and prosecutors are the only ones heard in court. It's been 23 years since it was first enacted. What happened 23 years ago to make them pass such a terrible law? Well, the assassination of Queen Amara, that's where it all begun.
Happened before I was even born, but Queen Amara, the previous queen, was assassinated. And it was the rebel leader Dirk who did it.
Dirk assassinated the former queen, didn't he? That's the official line, but... The official line? Those charges were completely trumped up. Dirk was framed, I'm telling you. He was? Plus, Dirk was a lawyer. Once the people thought a lawyer had killed the queen, they turned against all lawyers. And that's how the DC Act was first passed. So that's why there aren't any lawyers left in Karain. Even worse, it changed the significance of the divination seance. Significance of the divination seance? They were holding seances in court even before the DC Act? Oh, you bet they were. Lawyers and prosecutors used to hotly contest the insights that came out of seances. You mean, like what I've been doing? Right, like Dirk used to say. The royal priestess's insights are just another piece of evidence. Right. See what you mean about the significance of the divination seances changing. Yep, the insights became the only truth, and arguing against them was banned.
As royal priestess, it is my duty to reveal the truth through the divination seance. This time, I will prove that the insights I glean, therefore, are the very truth itself.
There, whatever.
Prepare yourself, for this shall be your last trial, and your last rites. Tomorrow shall end with you under the headsman's axe.
From what I've seen, Wraitha would agree with that. Well, this kingdom's the shadow of its former self. It's become a dictatorship where the royals use the fear of trumped-up charges to rule. That's what Dirk's been rebelling against. Yep, all we want is to live in a kingdom with a fair and impartial legal system. There's only one way to make that come true. Overthrow the current regime. So that's the truth behind the rebels. Well, PW, my friend, it's about time for me to get going. After all, I am the fangs of the defiant dragons. That's horrible. You're not going to do that alley-oop thing again, are you? No, let's just get into that. See you when I see you. Alley-oop. Why does he have to jump like that before running off? Well, guess we're friends now. But enough about that. I've already spent way too much time here. Phew, finally got out of there.
Mr. Wright! I'm so glad you're okay. I was so worried about you.
Shadu, what happened to him anyway?
Came out of the manhole about 5 minutes after you went in. Sorry he wasn't much help. Well, did you find anything of worth?
Oh, tripped and fell down there. Must have been out cold for a while. Better keep things to myself for now.
I figured as much.
Have to find that secret hideout Mr. Araron was talking about. Probably start with places that have something to do with the High Priest.
Ted, you already searched here, did you not?
Oh, I just thought I'd look around again. You know, in case I missed something. Probably shouldn't tell her I'm looking for the secret rebel hideout. We have a saying back home, leave no stone unturned.
Oh, yes. You cannot stump me. I know that one.
Actually, I don't have a clue is written all over your face. The statue of a bird. Should take a closer look later. Hey, the eye is missing.
What are you doing? You must not touch that for no reason.
Sorry. But that shape. I wonder.
Take that!
I knew it.
What?
She must be at a loss for words, and that doesn't happen too often.
What is this place? Explain yourself at once, Barbed Head.
I don't think she's ready for the full story. I don't really know much myself, but it seems to be a secret rebel hideout. I'm shocked there's a secret door here. I imagine that goes double for Reaper.
A rebel hideout? You need a sanctum? Somebody will pay for this.
Well, for now I think I'll have a look around.
Wait, you must not end up before the police.
Don't worry, I won't disturb anything. At least I'll try not to. Besides, with you watching over me, I should be fine, right? And, you see...
Fine, just please stop pleading your case. I can only stand so much lawyerly drivel. But I will be presenting all information gained from your efforts here to the police.
Of course. Now, shall we?
I will go no further.
Oh, right. You're not supposed to come in contact with the taint of Lady Kira's battles.
Very good, Barbed Head. I commend you for remembering.
Oh, well, thank you.
Wait, what am I thinking? I may not be able to enter, but I will allow no misdeeds on your part. I'll be watching you like a warbird from the entrance here.
Told you I'm not going to do anything. I better hurry before she changes her mind.
I believe this to be a sacred space that enshrines the source of the spring's water.
That makes sense. The rebels must have converted it into a secret hideout. But what about that warbird revolving door? I wonder if that too was originally intended to hide and protect this sacred space.
To think those filthy rebels were scheming their schemes in this most sacred space. It's a desecration upon Kuranism itself. The defiant dragon shall pay for this.
I suppose it's only natural that she'd be upset, but the investigation must go on. I think I'll start by taking a picture of the place. I think I brought a camera to snap some souvenir shots.
Stop that. You must not take photos here without permission.
Oh, Rafa's really fired up. She's sticking her head in as far as it will go. Guess she won't be tainted as long as she doesn't touch anything. Now, to search every nook and cranny.
Barbed, just because it is hard for me to see your every move, do not use that as an excuse to touch and break things.
I heard you the first time. Sheesh. What's this? A bloodstain? I should probably try to figure out what happened in here.
Do not tamper with any evidence before the police arrive.
The police? Hey, that reminds me. Emma gave me something just for times like these.
I thought it might help your investigation. Here, it's all yours. I wanted to bring you a bunch of other forensic tools, but they were confiscated at the airport.
Luminal testing fluid. This actually might come in handy. Luminal testing fluid glows in reaction to even the tiniest traces of blood, so it can detect areas where blood has been wiped up. It might help us figure out what happened in here. Okay, time for science to do its thing. First, let me put these red-tinted glasses on to see the luminol glow. And then I just touch wherever I want to spray some of the luminol. Areas where there was blood will react by turning blue. This This is a huge bloodstain. Something big must have happened here.
That's the High Priest's blood flowed in from under the warbird statue.
There's definitely a lot of blood here. It's impossible to say much else at this point. I'll just take a picture for now. Oh, wait. Luminol reactions don't show up in photos. I'll just have to take some notes. That should do it. I didn't notice before, but the bloodstain looks like it was smeared away in one place. Is it because the warbird revolving door passed over it? Weapons, and lots of them too.
We are lucky we found them before they could be used. Excellent work, Barbed Head.
Oh, thanks. If a rebellion ever happens, I hope it's bloodless.
How dare those filthy insurgents raise their banner amid such sacred space? Barbed Head, you must burn it at once.
You tell me not to touch or damage anything.
This is an exception. Very well, if you will not do it, then I will.
But your benevolence, I thought you're not supposed to come in here. Once, the strange customers of this kingdom are working in my favour. There's something under the banner. A microphone? What's this doing here? Someone trying to record something with it? So, this is the water source that supplies the inner sanctum spring. Runs through the channel built into the floor before heading outside.
Lady Kira used this sacred water to wash the taint of battle from her body.
It's also not red like the water in the spring. Large stone slab. It's shaped like a Magatama. Looks rather unstable. I bet it'd tip over in an earthquake. What's this earthy grass-like smell?
It is the smell of the moss that covers the stone.
Oh, so this shaggy green stuff is moss. Looks like some of the moss is about halfway up has been disturbed. I wonder why that is. One quick touch can't hurt, right? Whoa! The slab's starting to wobble.
What is happening? What have you done to the sacred space?
Nothing. What I did was nudge it a little. I knew it looked unstable. Probably best not to touch it again. Looks like an order from Dirk.
What's this? Let me see that.
I thought you're not supposed to touch anything in here.
This is an exception. Now hand it over. Let's see here. Oh, Holy Mother.
What? What does it say?
It is an order intended for that rebel named Dirtz. It reads, after the rite, infiltrate the palace under the guise of returning Lady Kira's costume. And search for clues about that incident from 23 years ago. Dirk.
23 years ago. You must mean the assassination of Queen Amara. Wonder what the rebels are up to. It's intriguing and all, but doesn't seem related to the case at hand.
This will not do. I must warn my mother at once.
No need to do that. The order will never be carried out. Lady Kira's costume is still here and Abbot Inmi is no longer able to aid the rebels.
I knew that.
And there's a Plume Punisher calendar here.
Now I understand. The villains in the Plume Punisher are based on the insurgents. Watching this show must have roused their ire against Lady Kira.
I doubt that's it. The statue door rotates when you pull this chain.
I see. Then you must shut the door and destroy its mechanism. That will deprive the insurgents of access to this place.
But wouldn't that trap me in here?
Not to worry. I would come to visit you once a year.
She's actually serious. Look,
What is it, Bobhead?
it's a Bloom Punisher clock.
Why, I believe it's a limited edition promotional item given to 50 lucky viewers. This rare item plays the Bloom Punisher theme song every hour. Hand it over now, Bobhead.
She snatched it away from me. No matter what she says, Rafer is definitely a huge fan.
What a fine item. And this switch, if I'm right.
It's the Bloom Punisher theme song.
Yes, now I see. The insurgents who use this room must be Bloom Punisher fans.
That may be so, but I don't see how it's relevant to this case. Well, I think that covers about everything here.
Mr. Wright, you shouldn't have come in here before the police.
Sorry, but I was in a hurry. I didn't do anything I wasn't supposed to. Benevolence can attest to that.
It is your fault for being so slow. I expect the police to work faster and more efficiently.
Sorry.
Well, Bobhead, have you not already seen enough?
I guess it's about time I got back to the temple and go over everything I've learned.
Welcome back, Mr. Wright. How'd it go?
Unfortunately, I didn't find anything conclusive.
No way. I do not understand, Bobhead.
What don't you understand?
Why you did not commit any misdeeds during your investigation. After all, lawyers ply their trade primarily through illicit means and methods.
What? Who told you that?
My mother. Are you saying she was wrong? No, that cannot be. You must have committed some sort of misdeed right under my nose.
That was so. She wasted her whole day following me around.
What is it? Prosecutor Shamadi has needed me.
What's going on?
I must go perform a divination seance for Praise the Lot. It is our custom for the prosecution to review its contents before a trial begins.
I see.
And the third time will be the charm. My insights will finally bring you to your knees tomorrow. And I will teach that neophyte practitioner a lesson.
Looks like the Royal Priestess is back with a vengeance. She made a full recovery from when we started the investigation earlier today. I look forward to seeing you in court, Your Benevolence.
Your overconfidence will be your downfall. You will not look so confident when I am finished with you tomorrow.
Actually, I'm not really looking forward to seeing her tomorrow. Especially without any solid evidence.
Why don't we go over everything you know so far?
Alright. Let's see here. Acolyte Zealot was killed during the rite with Lady Kira's dagger. Maya's fingerprints were found on it.
That doesn't sound very good.
I know. It's the very definition of being up a creek without a paddle. The day before his murder, Zealot enjoyed a meal with the High Priest, his wife, and Maya. We also learned about spirit channeling here in Karain.
None of that sounds very helpful.
Oh, but I did hear something interesting. The rebel hunting Lady Kira might be working for the Justice Minister.
What? Really? Our kingdom is supposed to be ruled through faith and laws. We can't allow the people to be controlled by fear and violence.
Obi, that sounds like something a rebel might say.
It does? And if that Lady Kira really is one of the Minister Inga's subordinates, that would exonerate Miss Maya.
Fortunately, I have no way of proving it in court.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, I almost forgot about the secret rebel hideout we found at the Inner Sanctum. There's a blood stain inside. I don't know if or how it's connected to this case, though.
Wow, the secret room in the Inner Sanctum? That would be a huge hit with tourists.
This kid really is an entrepreneur at heart.
What I mean is that hideout could be important to your case.
Maybe, but it's still too early to tell. Looks like I'm heading into court without any useful evidence.
We'll just have to pray something appears during tomorrow's trial.
Princess Rafer's divination seance might be my only hope. Could be some new information in it that might help.
The divination seance? But I thought it always works against the accused.
Not always. Right, it's like Dirk used to say. The Royal Priestess's insights are just another piece of evidence.
Really? I never heard anyone say that before. It's hard to figure you out sometimes, sir.
Divination seances worked both ways before the Defense Culpability Act. It's only now that the people of Karain find it strange.
Mr. Wright, I just wanted to say good luck tomorrow.
Thanks. Can't afford to lose this next one. Collected all sorts of information, but I haven't even started connecting the dots. If I could do that, I might have a shot at pulling off a win. Rafer's insights will be the deciding factor. It's a huge gamble, but it's all I've got. Of course, that will have to wait till tomorrow. Rather annoyingly, tomorrow's trial is going to be quite long, isn't it? Anyway, that is all for now. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Bye.